This is a demonstration of our Oauth20 implementation of Gmail in our MetaServer products. MetaServer is a product that processes PDF documents. PDF documents can be imported from a folder, from a watched folder, or from an inbox. Then once imported, we extract data and classify the PDF correctly. To automate this process, you typically use MetaServer. So let's have a look how we configure incoming email. By default, we have the old IMAP protocol, but you can now also select Gmail. And in that case, you get the sign in with Google button according to the specifications of the design specifications of Google. You click on the button and we created a special account, invoices.capbytes@gmail.com, to connect to. In this case, we still MetaServer is still considered as unsafe because not yet officially certified. That's the purpose of this video, to get it officially certified so the screen doesn't come up anymore. And now we just agree that MetaServer can read, compose, send, and delete messages. Continue. We have now access to the Gmail account, and if I test my connection, it will check emails available. 0 messages found in inbox. We watch by default the inbox, but you can browse to any other folder in the Gmail account that I'm connected to. So you have also the important star, trash, or any folder that you created in Gmail. You can watch those folders. Typically, people want to check their inbox, so that's also the default. Another thing we can do, and this is an explanation why we need these rights. Once the email is processed, the PDF is completely extracted and classified, the email can be archived and moved to a folder. In this case, we move it to the processed folder, but you can also delete the email. In that case, we need, of course, the right to delete messages, or we can keep it in the inbox. Typically, people prefer just to archive the processed email and put it in another folder instead of keeping it in the inbox or deleting it. Same with rejected. Rejected means it's an email that does not have a valid attachment, or deleted emails can also be put in the deleted items or trash or whatever folder. It's up to the user to define that. Okay. So once we have configured everything, we save our settings. We call that publishing. It's a client-server system, so by publishing the new configuration, it becomes available on the network, and we can start testing our Gmail connection. Wait a few seconds to publish the changes, and there we have it. Okay, so let's send some emails now. Let's act as if I'm a vendor and I'm sending an invoice to CaptureBites. So my email is some email, and I'm working from this inbox. I'm going to compose a message, and I'm sending it to this special invoices address that I was provided with, invoices.capbytes@gmail.com. The subject is, this is your February invoice. And of course, we attach the invoice, which is in typically PDF format. We send it to that inbox. Now, MetaServer is constantly checking its watched folders. It's also checking the email inbox. And as soon as there is an email arriving, and we can actually see that in the Gmail account as well of the invoices Gmail, you'll see that the message will arrive any second. And as soon as it arrives, it will be imported, and there it is. It will be imported by MetaServer. As you can see, it's already red. It's not bold anymore. That means it has been imported by MetaServer. It's not moved to the processed folder yet because the document is still in process. The PDF is being extracted and still needs to be classified. And that's what we're going to see now. We're now entering the functionality of our product. It's more PDF processing than anything else. As you can see, we were able to detect the vendor, Google Commerce, detect the invoice number, detect the date and convert it to a digital format, and the total amount. If we hit enter now, the PDF goes its way and will be, in this case, classified in a system of choice. We put it just in a folder. As you can see, it just arrived. We gave the PDF a meaningful name, its invoice date reversed, the vendor name, and the invoice number. We also created a little index file containing all the index data of the relevant invoice. In this case, we just export it to a folder, but you can also export it to a content management system of choice. Okay, let's have a look at the inbox now. The email is not, let's refresh this. We noticed that sometimes there's a little delay on this. There it is. The inbox is gone. Sorry, the email is gone from the inbox and has been moved by MetaServer to the processed folder in Gmail. So this email is completely finished. Okay, this actually concludes the incoming email demo. What about outgoing emails? Well, MetaServer can also send notifications, and typically customers want to use their Gmail account to send the notification from. We send them from the email alert button. Typically, often people use SMTP, but more and more people switch to Oauth20, like in the Gmail case. Just like with incoming email, you select Gmail, and there we have the button again. We sign in with Gmail, and this time I'm going to send the emails in my behalf, jdmoons@gmail.com. So, just like before, we have to allow the application, as long as it's not certified, allow the read, compose, send, and permanently delete. And we explained why we needed that before for the incoming emails. And there we go. The connection is done. If I test my connection, it will send a test email from my connected Gmail account to jdmoons@gmail.com. And so, if all goes well, we should have received that email, and there it is. Bingo. We just composed an email, an error email, and send it to the specified person, in this case, my email address. And that concludes the functionality of using Gmail incoming and outgoing in MetaServer. Thank you.